Hello y'all and welcome. Okay, so let's talk about this $1,200 check that we're getting from the government. Okay, so for those who are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Faithful Lavi. I post videos every week on topics related to money, mindset, and business. For those who are returning, you guys already know y'all are some real OGs. I really appreciate y'all. Okay, let's talk about this $1,200 check. Now, we all know the government announced a $2 trillion stimulus package that they're going to be injecting into the economy. Now, 350 billion of that 2 trillion is going to be allocated to us Americans, and majority of us are going to be getting a $1,200 check from the government. Now, let's talk about how we could best allocate this money. As we can see, a lot of people's lives got affected recently. The unemployment rate spiked to 3.2 trillion Americans unemployed at the time of this recording, March 31st. Now, Let's think about this. 3.2 trillion Americans lost their jobs overnight. Now, this is very serious. As we all know, the COVID-19 is affecting a lot of people's lives. There's a lot of people who lost their jobs, a lot of people who've lost their lives. My condolences out to the families that have been affected. This is a really tough time right now in our economy, in the country as a whole. And I think it's really important for us to really stick together. For those who have lost their jobs and those who don't know where the next meal is coming from or anything, I think first, allocating this $1,200 to your essentials. These are things like your food, your water, your health, bills that are coming up. Let's say you have this $1,200 coming in and you're in a great position already and you don't need this money necessarily to pay for your essentials. I think it's a really good time to also save for your emergency fund. As we can see, a lot of people's lives got turned overnight due to this COVID-19, and majority of Americans don't even have $1,000 saved up in emergency in case anything happens in their life. Now, this is a really good time if you don't have an emergency fund already saved up to have at least $1,000 saved up, preferably 3 to 6 months of your expenses saved up as an emergency fund. We can't predict the future. We don't have a crystal ball. We don't know how long this is going to last or how many more lives this is going to affect. For those who have the essentials covered and already have an emergency fund, what you could do next is really take that money and invest in yourself. Now, this is partially what I am doing with half my money. I'm investing in myself, and you can invest in learning a new skill, learning a new instrument, whatever it could be. With the more time we have in our hands due to this COVID-19 and the check we're getting, I think it's a really perfect time to really come out of this situation better than we went into this situation. Now, let's say you already have all these threes covered. You already have your essentials. You already have an emergency fund saved up. You're already investing in yourself. Next, what you could do is invest in assets that pay you. Now, this could be things like dividend stocks. Now, this is partially what I'm going to be doing with my money, also investing in dividend stocks that pays me to own them. And this is really important for us to actually put this money to work for us. Now, there are two reasons why it's very important for us to put this money to work for us. First is, this money is not necessarily free. Now, the government does sound and say it is free. Right now, yes, the money is free, but in the long run, we are going to have to pay for it. Due to the fact that the government is the one giving this money out, this means the national debt is going to drastically increase. For the government to issue money out like this, they have to issue things called bonds, which are debts. Now, whenever bonds are issued, the only people that really purchase bonds are investment firms. Now, these investment firms go buy these bonds, take those bonds and sell it to the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve then in turn gives them that money. Now, this is what the government is going to be doing essentially to get the $2 trillion. They're going to sell about $2 trillion worth of bonds and give those bonds to the Federal Reserve. Now, this means our national debt is going to drastically increase, and the government and the Federal Reserve are two separate entities. This is important to note because the only way the government makes their money is through taxes. We are going to have to increase taxes in the future in order for us to pay these debts back. The second thing we have to keep in mind is inflation, meaning that the cost of goods potentially has the chance to increase due to the fact that the money supply is being increased in the economy. Now, for those who are out there and need help, please reach out to those who can help. I really appreciate y'all. If you made it this far, you're really a real one. Thank you guys for sticking with me all the way to the end. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this video with a friend if you found this helpful. I really appreciate it. With that being said, I am out.